Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat mga kapatid. Sa aking pong parokya sa Santa Maria Goretti, ang lagi kong bati bago magsimula ng pagninilay ay Praise be Jesus Christ na sinasagot ng now and forever. Praise be Jesus Christ. Now and forever. Praise be Jesus Christ. Now and forever. Praise be Jesus Christ. Now and forever. Sapagkat naniniwala po ako na tanging si Jesus lamang ang dapat pinararangalan, tanging ang pangalan ni Jesus ang pinapupurihan at hindi ang kung sino mang pari o sa kanyang mga salita. And for the last time, praise be Jesus Christ. Pakibati nga ng magandang gabi sa ating mga katabi. Good evening po, mga kapatid. Iniwanan po ako ng mga pari dito, kaya nagkamali sila. No? Babaguhin ko lahat ng mga code nila. No? Para pagbalik nila, ako na yung parish priest dito. Nag-revolution, ano? Wag ho yung itusumbong, ha? Biro lamang po yun. Napaliwanag na banggit naman po kanina na ako po si Father Jason Laguerta. At ako po'y pari galing ng Maynila sa Santa Maria Goretti Parish na anyayahan po ako ngayong taong ito para pangunahan kayo o makibahagi o magbahagi ng mga kaunting pagninilay sa ating tema sa Misyong Pilipino 2025 sa pangarap at sakripisyo ng OFW, si Kristo ang kalakbay, pag-asa. Ulitin nga natin yun ng sabay-sabay. Sa pangarap at sakripisyo ng OFW, si Kristo ang kalakbay, pag-asa. At palagay ko po yung tema ay self-explanatory, kaya hindi ko na po hahabaan para tayo po ay makauwi agad pare-pareho. No? O parang ayaw niyo yata. And I will shift to English from time to time because I have discovered in the many days I have been here na nagbibigay po ako sa Tagalog, Pilipino ng pagninilay. Pero yung mga bata at kabataan nakatanga lang sa akin, na nakanganga. No? I all the while, I was thinking that the young people are mesmerized by my words or they're just looking at me intently. But I have discovered that many of the young people hindi pala naiintindihan yung Tagalog. No? And so for the sake of our young ones, I will try to mix it, Tagalog and English, kung okay lang sa inyo. Mga kabataan, young people, are you okay with English? Para hindi kayo mag-nosebleed. Baliktad pala dito sa inyo, no? Ang nag-i-English ay yun, ang nagtatagalog, yun yung nagno-nosebleed. Tatlong bahagi po yung nais kong ipagnilayan no, sa gabing ito. Lalo pa ang ating tema ay tungkol sa paglalakbay ngayon pong Jubilee Year of Hope. Jubilee Year of Hope na ang tema ay Pilgrims of Hope. Tayo ay mga naglalakbay sa pag-asa. So I start with paglalakbay. I will go to paglalakbay ng sama-sama, and the last will be paglalakbay ng sama-sama ng may pag-asa. Let me begin with the first point, which is life is a journey. Ang buhay ay isang paglalakbay, a pilgrimage. Can we repeat that? Life is a journey. Life is a journey. And it is a pilgrimage. And basically there are three journeys or pilgrimages that we perform in our life. Journey in space, which is not necessarily outer space. Journey in time, because we are human beings, we journey in space and time. But there's another journey that is going deeper to our heart and to our soul. The journey of the heart and soul. So let me try to reflect on these three journeys that we make. Paglalakbay mula sa loob ng bansa patungo sa labas ng bansa. A journey in space. We relocate, we migrate. But it's also a journey in time because we journey in the different seasons of our life. And we journey deeper into our hearts and our souls. And that's basically what you did and you're doing in your life. A journey in space. You have dared to leave the country, your home country, in order to migrate or to work abroad to a country that in the beginning you were a foreigner or a stranger. But as I have discovered, marami po sa inyo ay nandito na ng 30 taon kagabi yata o nung isang araw. May kausap ako, 30 taon na dito sa Abu Dhabi o sa Al Ain. Yan. Pwede ko bang malaman sino po rito yung nandito na o nandito sa Al Ain or Abu Dhabi ng for the past 10 years below? Taas lang po ang kamay. 10 years below. Ayan. So, ang tawag natin dyan, mga newbie, mga bago pa lang, no? Kahit yan, mga bago pa lang kayo. Sino po rito ang mga nasa 11 years to 20 years dito po? Ayan, no? Mga hindi na kayo bago. Kayo ay medyo, luma na ng konti, no? Sino po rito ang nandito sa Abu Dhabi for the past 21 hanggang 30 years? Pwede kayong tumayo. Pwede kong tumayo ang mga 21 or above, 30. Yan. Palakpakan natin sila. Silang tinatawag nating matatanda. O kaya, ang tawag natin sa kanila ay mga seasoned. Yan, no? Veterans, so to speak. So we journey in space and in time. May 30 plus pa pala. Sorry. Taas nga kamay ng 30 plus. Ay, iba na kayo. Tayo po kayo. 31 and above. Ang tawag sa inyo ay alamat. No? Grabe kayo. Ayaw nyo na talaga umuwi, Yan. So, naglakbay kayo mula sa loob palabas ng bansa. And it's a physical journey. And we do that as human beings. When we journey in life, we move from place to place. We move from one home to another. At marami ho ako narinig na kwento na all the while, akala ko po pag nagtatrabaho ka sa ibang bansa ay talagang mahirap in a sense, mahirap dahil nga nalalayo sa pamilya. Pero parang ito po isang stereotype or I would say na misconception na nabasag po sa aking isip nung nagpunta po ako rito sa inyo. All the while I was thinking that if you go out of a country, you will miss your country, your home, and then you will find it difficult to live in a strange situation like an Arab country or Abu Dhabi for that matter. But as I'm beginning to understand, marami sa inyo ayaw na umuwi. And I was so fascinated with it kasi akala ko lahat ng OFW, wala silang pangarap sa kanilang puso maliban sa umuwi. Pero nakikita ko rin pala na yung palang pag-uwi ay mayroon din palang reverse migration. Kasi, gusto mong umuwi ng Pilipinas, pero pag nasa Pilipinas ka naman at nakita mo na yung traffic, nakita mo na yung mga flood control project, etc. Gustong-gusto mo nang bumalik ng Abu Dhabi. Taas nga ang kamay ng gano'n, ng pakiramdam. Ayan. Mga taksil, no? Ay, hindi naman. Hindi ba? Biro lang. So, ibig sabihin ay, ang paglalakbay, hindi talaga yan sa lugar eh. Kasi any place you can call home. And it really depends on where you settle down or where you find yourself at home. Di ba? Yun ang pinag-usapan doon sa isang pelikula. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng home? Ang sabi ni Catherine ay, you are my home. Home is not a place. No? Home is a person. Yan. Pakitanong ang katabi mo, where is your home? Asan ba yung bahay niyo? What do you call home for yourself? Are you a migrant? Do you feel and consider yourself a migrant in Abu Dhabi, or do you consider yourself as a stranger? Ang suspecha ko po, marami po sa inyo, you don't feel like a stranger here anymore. Maybe for those who are, still adjusting, yung mga bago pa lang, baka yun, nakakaramdam kayo ng parang you're not at home. Pero nangyayari pala yun na habang tumatagal ka sa isang lugar, nagiging palagay ang loob mo at natututunan mo siyang mahalin at nasasabi mo sa sarili mo na Abu Dhabi is my home. Okay, tingnan nga ang katabi mo. Where is your home? Saan na? Pero syempre hindi natin maaalis na hindi rin kompleto yon. Kasi stable ka na dito, gusto mo na rin ang buhay mo dito, napaka-payapa, napaka-relax. Sa totoo lang po, yung pagpunta ko dito sa Abu Dhabi, akala ko po ay mai-stress ako dahil tok ako rito, tok doon. Akala ko po ang pagpunta ko rito ay makakadagdag pa ng wrinkles ko. Pero ang nangyari po ay reverse ulit. Ang nangyari po ay tumaba ako ng gusto. Kasalanan nyo ito. No? Kasi araw-araw, hindi ako nagugutom. Sa totoo lang po, ako na ho yung talagang sumusuko. No? Nung ako po yung nasa Abu Dhabi, Musafah, Ruwais, at ngayon sa Al Ain, araw-araw ho, ang kinakain ko ay Lamb of God. No? Lamb chops. Pero masarap pala yung lamb chops, no? Lalo pa pag libre. Kasi nakikita, tinitinan ko, mahal eh. Pero kanina po, kumain kami never in my life sa Pilipinas, never in my life na kumain ako sa Thai restaurant or, may Japanese restaurant here and there. Pero kanina lang ako nakakain sa isang Thai restaurant. Dito pa sa Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi, pero Thai restaurant. So, isang bagay na para ka pa lang pag nandito ka ay hindi ka rin umalis. Kaya tingin ko, ang paglalakbay ay depende sa naglalakbay. At siguro, may ilan sa atin na may problema sa paglalakbay. Dahil siguro may pamilyang naiwanan. At hanggang ngayon, kahit matagal ka na nag-a-abroad, ay hindi pa rin mapanatag ang iyong puso. Yourself with the reality that you are not home. You are home, but you are not home. Andito ka, pero hindi rin nandito. Dahil ang tingin ko po sa buhay ninyo bilang mga OFW and siguro sa inyo pong paglalakbay sa buhay, you're always living in the tension of the now and the here and the there. Here and there. Andito pero wala. You're always in that liminal stage, they call it. Liminal stage where you are in the threshold all the time. Lagi kang nasa gitna. Lagi kang hati. Hati dahil andito ka pero andun sila. Andun sila pero nandito ka. Andito ang puso, ang katawan mo at isip mo, or nandito ang katawan mo, pero wala dito ang isip at puso mo, or vice versa. And many times in our journey in life, we we are never home. We are not at peace with where we are. So question for tonight, are you at home now where you are? Are you okay where you are right now? Meaning, you are here and you are really here, in the here and now. Or is there an aspect of your life, isang aspeto ng buhay mo na andito pero wala? Andon pero andito. Malayo pero malapit. Malapit pero malayo. Laging hati. At yung hatiin na yon ng puso ay nagdudulot ng pighati. At yun pangalagay ko yung tema natin, yung sakripisyo na ginagawa mo bilang isang ama, bilang isang ina, pero hindi mo talaga alam kung nasaan ng puso mo. You don't know where you place yourself. And more often than not, you don't also know where to locate yourself in the life of your children or your family. Some of you may think that, ang layo na ng anak ko. Andito siya, pero malayo siya. Or it's the reverse. Malayo siya, pero malapit siya. Where are you in terms of space and the gaps in your relationship with your family? For example, kung nasa Pilipinas ang pamilya mo, how do you feel in terms of your emotional bond or connection with them? Are you there or are you here? Are they here or are they there? Malayo ba sila o malapit sa'yo? Nasaan and where do you place yourself or locate yourself in their life? Halimbawa, kung mga anak mo nasa Pilipinas, sino ka para sa kanila in terms of the role that you play? And who are they to you? Are they still your children? Or time and again we discover that hindi ko na siya kilala. Malayo na ang loob niya. Kahit magkasama kami sa bahay, pero hindi na kami nagkakaintindihan. So where would you locate yourself in your mental map? Where would you place yourself in the life of the people in your family? Sa anak mo, for example, where would you locate yourself in his or her life? Nasa loob ba o nasa labas? Malayo ba o malapit? Between husband and wife, kayo bilang mag-asawa, where would you locate yourself? Physically at least. Are you proximate, meaning magkalapit kayo pero malayo? Or magkalayo kayo pero malapit? How would you understand or describe the dynamics of your physicality or your location or your space for each other? Let's make it simple. Sa mga mag-asawa, tatanungin mo sarili mo, malayo, malapit? So near or so far? Or so near and yet so far? Marami po akong kilalang gano'n ng mga mag-asawa. They are living in the same house, staying in the same room, but they have never been intimate with each other. I had a counseling once na gano'n ang problema nilang mag-asawa. For the past 10 years or so, they have never been intimate with each other, but they have been sleeping in the same bed, staying in the same house, but practically they are together because of their children. But in terms of emotional connection, they're not there for each other anymore. They are geographically located together, in space together, but there is no more together. So we ask ourselves tonight, in terms of the journey in space, are you more out than in? Or are you now in than out? In terms of your relationship with your children, are you in or out in their lives? Where would you locate yourself in your relationship with them? Malapit ba sa'yo ang anak mo o malayo? How would you locate kung kayo ay kumbaga pagagawin ng isang floor plan sa pamilya, and you put some, they call that in sociology, sociogram or family genogram when it comes to relationship with each other. Saan mo ilalagay ang sarili mo sa buhay ng iyong pamilya? Loob o labas? Malayo o malapit? So near and yet so far, or so far yet so near? Ask the person beside you. Loob o labas? Malayo o malapit? Nasaan ka? Yan. So, that's a journey that we made. Kasi naiintindihan ko na ngayon, naiintindihan ko na ngayon unti-unti, na kahit pala malayo, malapit din. Pero may malapit, pero napakalayo. And it's the irony of it all. The paradox of that is, there are many people who are so near to you, and yet so far. And there are so far people are so far from you, and yet so near to you, so dear and close to you. And that's strange, di ba? Kung proximate kayo, di ba dapat closer kayo? But it doesn't happen all the time. May mga malayo, pero malapit. At may mga malapit, kahit malayo. O, yung katabi mo, how would you categorize the person beside you? Malapit, pero malayo? O malayo, pero malapit? Yan. Mamayang gabi, mag-usap kayo ha? Mag-usap kayo. Kausapin mo asawa mo, kausapin mo mga anak mo. Anak, nasaan ba ako sa buhay mo? Malayo, malapit. O asawa ninyo, tanungin nyo asawa nyo kung nandito man o nasa Pilipinas, tawagan mo kahit madaling araw, gisingin mo mamaya, tanungin mo. Magkaintindihan nga tayo, tapatan tayo. Malayo ba tayo o malapit? Nasaan na tayo? You have to measure it, you have to understand it, and you have to, in a way, be clear about it, because distance, sabi nila, yes, distance makes the heart grow fonder, but distance also makes the gap stronger. If there is distance, di ba, mga LDR dito, if there is a long-distance relationship, there is oftentimes the tendency to, out of sight, out of mind. Minsan pag wala, wala din sa isip mo. Out of sight, out of mind. And there is a danger to that. No? Minsan nag-uusap kami na Father Troy, sabi nila, Father, alam mo dito sa Abu Dhabi, pwede na yung online marriage. Apply ka lang, i-apply mo lang yung mga dokumento mo, online kasal na kayo. And I was so surprised by it. Ganun lang kadali pala magpakasal dito. Pag ganun pala, kung madali magpakasal, di madali maghiwalay. Dahil nga pag out of sight, out of mind. Pwede mo paglaruan ng dokumento. Kaya mo namang pagawa sa recto yan May recto ba dito? Hindi pala pwede dito, bawal. Pero ang tanong nga ay, out of sight, out of mind ba? Or absence makes your heart grow fonder? What is it? What is the reality of your life today? Is it out of sight, out of mind, meaning dahil wala din? Or is it because there is absence, your heart grows fonder and longing to be with the one you love? Kaya rin tayo, maging maingat at lalo tigit pag nilayang mabuti. Yung distance ba, geographically and spatially, what is the effect of that on me, on my family? Is it growing closer or is it growing cold? What? Amen. Pwedeng pakitanong ang sarili mo ngayong gabi. Does distance make your heart grow fonder? Or is it out of sight, out of mind? Malayo, pero malapit? O malapit, pero kaya lang malayo? Hindi lang yan ang paglalakbay na ginagawa natin. The second journey we make is a journey in time. As we grow apart in terms of distance and space, we also grow in time. We move from not just place to place, but we move from being a baby to becoming a child, to becoming a teenager, to become a young adult, to become an adult, and eventually mature years and your senior years. So we journey also not just in space, but also in time. Sino po rito yung 20 years old and below? Pwedeng tumayo ang mga 20 years old and below, 20 pababa hanggang Wala tayong bata rito? Ito, mga sakari. Hindi nila ako naintindihan talaga, no? So, may I ask, who among you, kailangan mag-English talaga, no? Who among you here are 20 years old and below? Can you stand if you are 20 years old and below? Okay, nagkaintindihan na kami. Oh, very good, very good. Thank you. Take your seat now. Sino sa inyo ang 21 to 40 years old? Can you stand? 21 to 40 years old. Ayun, meron tayo doon sa likod. Ba't kayo nahiya sa edad nyo? Sino rito ang 41 to 60 years old? Can you stand? Very good. Yeah. Oh, pinakamarami ang 41 to 60, ah. Take your seat, take your seat. Sino po rito ang 61 to 80 years old? Mga senior, mami. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, palakpakan natin sila. Oh, anim sila. Yeah. If you're into psychology, you have just, we have just seen the lifespan of a person. Basically, we live around 80 years old. Ang sabi ng isang psychologist, ang buhay ng tao para siyang basketball game. May first quarter, may second quarter, and then halftime, then third quarter, and fourth quarter. Ang first quarter ay yung 0 to 20 years old. Then second quarter, yun yung 21 to 40, then halftime. 40 is the middle. And then 41 to 60 would be your third quarter. And then your fourth quarter will be your 61 to 80 years old. Pag 80 plus, ang tawag doon sa basketball ay overtime. So, ganon ang buhay ng tao. In the first quarter, the struggle really is identity. Identity because the question, basic existential question in the first quarter is, who am I? That's the question of the young people, the teenagers. Who am I? You move to the quarter life, 21 to 40, the question shifts into, from who am I to where should I be? From a question of identity to becoming a question of stability. Who should I be with? Where should I work? And then halftime, midlife, you move to the third quarter, and the question changes from identity to stability to generativity. Am I giving something? Am I fruitful? Am I successful? Am I able to attain something for myself, for the sake of others? So, that's the third quarter. Kaya, pinakamarami sa inyo ngayon ay third quarter. Because these are the most fruitful years in your life. Dito ka nagtatrabaho, dito ka nagkakareer, at dito ka na rin papunta ng fourth quarter, which is what? The question shifts into from identity in the first quarter to stability in the second, generativity in the third. The question shifts to legacy. Ang tatanungin mo na, pag senior ka na, anong iiwan ko, mamamatay na ako. So a question of, what am I leaving behind? So as we go through the different seasons of our life, we also journey with different questions that we have to answer in our life. So ang tanong, nasaan ka ngayon? Anong tanong sa buhay mo ngayon ang matingkad na hinahanap mo ang sagot pero hindi mo pa maintindihan? Sa mga bata, halimbawa, habang naiintindihan ko po ang buhay ng mga bata dito sa Abu Dhabi, to be very honest about it, mas naaawa ako sa mga anak nyo, hindi sa inyo. I honor your hard work. I honor your dreams for your family. Pero mas lalo kong naiintindihan ng mga bata how sometimes they experience being in a different country, being rooted and being born and raised in a different country. And then, pagdating nila ng college, uuwi sila ng Pilipinas na wala naman silang naiintindihan. They are now a stranger in their own home. A reverse identity problem and crisis happens when you were born and raised in Abu Dhabi and then you are moving back to the Philippines and you say, I'm not happy here. Because my home is in Abu Dhabi. Baliktad tayo, di ba? Tayo, na mga matatanda, ang tingin natin, home ko ang Pilipinas kahit anong mangyari. Pero sa mga batang ito, home nilang Abu Dhabi, wag niyo kong tatapon doon. which more often than not becomes an identity crisis for them. Now, we're not saying there's nothing, it can be addressed, pero kailangan intindihin natin ang mga bata minsan. They have to deal with so many things. Identity problem, to be honest with you, is a problem that stays with us because we are in a situation that is in the tension between here and there and everywhere. These young people, as I begin to understand them, they are not Filipino anymore. They are citizens of the world. Their dreams are no longer isolated or no longer localized in the country, in the Philippines, but their dreams go beyond borders. Their dreams go to Canada, to the US, to other parts of the world. And that identity, for me, is something difficult to navigate for the young people if they are not guided by parents and adults who don't know what it is. Because maybe for some of us, we think that Filipino ka. But for them, Mommy, Daddy, kayo ang Pilipino. Pero ako, baka hindi na. Kailangan mo maintindihan din yan. The shifting identity of children being born and raised here. And maybe we need to open our eyes that we are dealing with different problems in the different stages of our lives. Sa mga kabataan, halimbawa, minsan, pag Pilipino ka, nanay o tatay, sasabihin mo sa mga anak mo, papunta ka pa lang, anak, pabalik na ako. Di ba, mahilig tayo magsabi ng ganon. Sa mga bata, papunta ka pa lang, pabalik na ako. Sasagutin ka ng mga bata, madalas ngayon, sasagutin ka. Ba't di tayo nagtagpo? They are living in a different world. They are facing different questions. And for some of us, it's a question of stability. Lalo na sa mga kabataan dito na in your 20s, in your 30s, ang tanong mo ay, dito na ba ako sa Abu Dhabi? O sa Dubai ba ako? O sa Amerika ba ako? Sa New York ba? O sa London? Saan ba ako? 3 basic existential questions in the second quarter of 21 to 40. What are they? Where should I be? What should I do? Who am I to be with? Saan ako? Anong gagawin ko? Sinong kasama ko? And those are very difficult questions as well for those in the quarter life. Dahil you're looking for stability eh. Dito na ba ako? Siya na ba ang asawa ko? Ito na ba yung trabaho ko? O hindi? A very different stage, difficult stage as well. Kaya sa paglalakbay sa buhay, mga kapatid, hindi yung simple eh. Kailangan natin maintindihan yung maraming tanong na kailangan nating sagutin. And you move to your midlife, mas lalong tanong na, in terms of the third quarter of generativity, paano pag failure ka? 40 ka na, wala ka pa rin trabaho. 50 ka na, pero wala ka pa rin naipon. So who am I now? What will I make of myself now? When all of my siblings, all of my friends, marami na silang ipon, may kotse na sila, may bahay na sila, and look at me. Tumanda ako ng ganito, wala man ako na-produce, wala man ako napundar, wala man ako naipon. And that's another question altogether. And you ask yourself, am I a failure or am I fruitful? Am I able to generate something or I have never contributed anything for my family or for myself for that matter? And then, papasok ko ng fourth quarter stage at ang tatanungin mo sa sarili mo at sa Panginoon, Lord, ba't ganun? Kung kailan naghahanda na ako na magpaalam, tsaka naman ang dami-dami ko pang kailangan gampanan. Why is it that in my senior years, ang dami ko pang responsibilidad? Kasi samantalang dapat ang panahong ito, nag-enjoy na ako ng retirement, nag-enjoy na ako na paalis na ako eh. Manamamaalam na ako eh. Bakit ako pa kailang gampanan lahat yan? Ba't sa inyo, sa akin yung binibigay lahat yan? Another very difficult question. What I'm trying to point out, friends, is in our journey in life, whether in space or in time, we always have a question to ask ourselves, am I journeying? Am I moving forward? Am I growing in maturity? And I think the most important journey is the third journey. The journey of the heart and the soul. Because it is in this journey that we find ourselves happy or sad, accomplished or fulfilled or not. In the journey to the heart and the soul, we ask ourselves, am I happy with my life? Does everything make sense, or are they meaningful to me, my life today? Or it has no more purpose and it has no more direction? Why do people commit, the letter S? Bakit may mga tao na gusto nilang tapusin ang buhay nila ng ganun-ganun na lang? What happens in their mind and their heart? Well, it's a disease which we need to address, really. Pero may mga tanong sila na hinahanap. Does my life have meaning and purpose and significance? Is it still worth it? Is life still worth living? Yun yung mga tanong tungkol sa puso't kalooban. May saysay pa ba lahat ito? May pupuntahan pa ba lahat ito? O wala nang saysay ito? Kaya mas madali na lang natapusin ito. Mas mahirap yung tanong na yun. Kasi yung tanong na saan ako magtatrabaho, madaling sagutin yan. Mag-apply ka, maalaman mo. Kung sino yung mapapangasawa mo, madaling sagutin yan. Di sagutin mo yung nanliligaw sa'yo. Kung wala nanliligaw, mamikot ka. Parang ganun lang yan O wag nyo namang gawin yun. Pero mas mahirap yung tanong na, may saysay ba ito? Ito yung mga pinaggagawa ko sa buhay ko. Ito yung mga pinagkakaabalahan ko. Does it still make sense? Or wala? So when we say life is a journey, when we say life is a pilgrimage, it is not just a statement. It is your life. Kaya magandang tanungin ang ating mga sarili. In my journey in space and time, in my journey in spiritual life, in my journey in my relationship, in my family, the basic fundamental question is, does it make sense? Is it all worth it? Are you still moving forward in your journey in life? In the journey, sometimes we get stuck, we get tired, we get lost. Maraming beses sa paglalakbay natin, napapagod tayo, not moving on, we are not moving forward. We are stuck somewhere, and because we are stuck, we feel that there's no more for me, nothing there for me. And so we understand, or at least we try to understand, that life is not that simple. When we get stuck, when we get tired, when we get lost, how do we deal with it? How do we bounce back? How do we get up and move forward? But we need to continue. Kailangan nating magpatuloy. We need to move forward. We need to let go of the shackles of the past. Yung mga bagay na sumisiil sa atin at nagkukulong sa atin, mga kabiguan, mga ugnayan na hindi na nakakatulong sa atin. May mga kulungan tayo na tayo mismo ang gumawa at hindi tayo makausad. But we need to set ourselves free. We need to journey to freedom. And what do you mean by journeying to freedom? It means that in my life, I let go of the baggages. I let go of the burdens. I try to move as lightly as possible. Kung ako'y naglalakbay sa buhay, hanggat maaari, wala akong bagahe na dala-dala sa aking balikat, sa aking puso, sa aking isipan. Kasi marunong akong magpatawad. Kasi marunong akong mag-let go o magpaubaya o magtiwala. Kaya kong isuko kung anuman ang lahat ng mga nadaanan ko, naranasan ko, na sa buhay ko ay nagpasira ng pangarap, nagpabigat ng damdamin, nagpahiwalay sa aking pamilya. Kaya magandang tanungin sa ating mga sarili, is your life moving forward or is it stuck somewhere? Are you moving to freedom in the sense that my life is good, or is your life so heavy because you are just too overwhelmed by all these different layers of your struggles and hardships and difficulties in your life. Sa simpleng tanong, malaya ka bang naglalakbay o nakakulong ka sa piitang ikaw rin ang gumawa? Magaan ba ang iyong paglalakad o napakabigat kasi ang dami-dami mong dala na hindi mo mabitawan? So question tonight, dear friends, are you moving forward? Are you journeying or are you stuck? Pakitanong ang katabi mo, stuck ka ba? Are you stuck somewhere? Ako magawa eh. Ang gandong ka lang eh. Parang nararamdaman mo ba minsan na, wala eh, gandito na lang talaga ito. You know, that feeling, huwag na nating pag-usapan ng mga buhay nyo, pag-usapan na lang natin ng Pilipinas. I think ang bansa natin, ganun eh. We're stuck somewhere. Imbis na we are moving towards progress, development, and whatnot, we are stuck somewhere. Para tayong mga flood control project na we are stuck. Di natin alam paano susolusyonan yan. Kasi, you know, corruption is just too massive and we don't know where to start. Parang ganun din minsan sa buhay natin. We are stuck somewhere because we are overwhelmed. We are flooded by all these concerns and we don't know where to start. We don't know how to begin. We don't even know how to deal with it. So question, kapatid, are you stuck? Or are you moving? And if you are not moving, how can we unpack your life? How can we unburden your life so that we can slowly ease into the future without being burdened with the things and the mistakes of the past, be they relationship or decisions or choices in your life? Ang buhay ay isang paglalakbay. Huwag tayong tumambay. Huwag mong tambayan ang buhay. Kasi pag nag-standby ka na, at we know that, if you are in a river, if life is a river, the moment you stop rowing or paddling, you will end up in the place where you do not want to be. You have to keep on fighting. You have to keep on swimming. You have to keep on trying. You have to keep on moving forward. Move forward. Pakisabi sa katabi natin, move on. Move on ka na. Move on ka na. 10 taon na kayong hiwalayan na ba? 10 taon na kayong nag-break hanggang ngayon, diyan ka pa rin. 10 taon ka nang, wala doon sa trabaho na yun, nandun pa rin na sa isip mo. Minsan, hindi tayo maka-move forward kasi hindi tayo makahulagpos sa alaala ng nakaraan, sa pagkakamali ng nangyari, etc., etc. Kapatid, huwag mong tambayan ang nangyari. Patuloy. Move on, move on. Pakihawakan ng kamay ng katabi mo. Sabi mo sa kanya, move on ka na, pwede ba? Tigas na ulo mo eh. Move on na. Move on na tayo. That's life. That's life. That's life. Kung nagkamali, may mga pagkakamali, it doesn't mean that we invalidate all those, learnings of the past, but we need to continue moving forward. Amen. Move forward, kapatid. Huwag kang titigil dyan. Huwag mong tatambayan yan. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Kasi pagka tumigil ka dyan, magandang tumigil paminsan-minsan to refuel, to re-energize, to retool yourself. Mahalaga yan. Pero hindi ka pwedeng tumambay. Kailangan mo mang magpatuloy. Sa nakikita ko sa mga mukha nyo rito, marami sa inyo dito, stuck somewhere. Pinagtsatsagaan nyo yung asawa nyo, 30 taon na. So minsan po, nagkasal ako sa isang mag-asawa, 50 years. Tinanong ko yung Mami, Daddy, ano bang sikreto sa 50 taon? Ang sabi sa akin ng babae, ni Lola, Father, ang sikreto sa 50 years ay maximum tolerance. Maximum tolerance. Sabihin talaga, maximum. Hindi lang tolerance, maximum tolerance. So, kagabi may mga kausap po ako. Palagay ko may itago na lang natin sa pangalan. Okay, ayoko na babanggitin. Basta mga CFC po sila. Meron pong mag-asawa kagabi na tingin ko nagtatsagaan na lang sila sa isa't isa. Nagtatsagaan na lang. Pero masaya sila. Masaya nilang tinatsaga ang isa't isa. Kaya sabi sa katabi mo, tinatsaga na lang kita eh. Pero, tsatsagain natin itong magkasama. And I move to the second point. Sorry po, pangalawang point pa lang po ito. Tatlong point lang naman. And my point, the second point is, if life is a journey, if you want to make your life really, lighter, we have to move together. We journey together, not and never alone. There's no such thing as lone ranger in life. Kahit ka-single, kahit mga single for Christ kayo or whatnot, you are not single. Ako po, pare, I'm not single. There's always someone who journeys with me. There's always someone who accompanies me. And therefore, if you want to go fast, sabi ng isang African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Basahin nga natin together. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Ibig sabihin noon, ang buhay ay hindi po 100-meter dash. Hindi po ito pabilisan. Hindi po ito yung, ikaw ang pinakamagaling. Hindi. Life is like a what? A long-distance marathon. In a long-distance marathon, hindi ho issue yung manalo. Ang issue ay, you finish the race. As St. Paul said. St. Paul, he does not go for pabilisan or... Kasi yun ang mundo eh. The currency of the world is, you become the best, you become the first, you become the highest. That's the currency of the world. But not for the kingdom of God. For the kingdom of God, if you want to be the greatest, you must be the least. If you want to become, the king, you must be the servant of all. So in other words, it's really more of, sabi nung isang parable of a Chinese parable, tinatanong ni Big Panda si Tiny Dragon, which is more important? Asked Big Panda. The journey or the destination? The company, said the Tiny Dragon. Ano ba yung mga mas importante sa buhay? Yung paglalakbay o yung pupuntahan? Wala doon. Anong mas importante sa paglalakbay? Yung kasama. Not the journey or the destiny, the company, who you are with. Because you can choose to be with people that you want to journey with. At yun ang importanteng dapat, mag-isip din tayo, sino ba yung makakasama ko sa buhay ko? Kasi it spells the difference between happiness and unhappiness. Not the success. Not the monetary compensation or money or wealth that you accumulate. What makes life meaningful? Again, I don't know if you have heard of this, and I would like you to Google it later. There is a Harvard study. Ito po yung longest Harvard study, I think of 80 years, if I'm not mistaken. 80 taon. Nagsimula 80 years ago, sinundan nila yung mga respondent nila that they asked many years ago. Anong tanong nila? Are you happy or not? And then they tried to look for the variables that would make them happy. Alam po ninyo yung resulta ng longevity study na to na 80 years in the making. Tinatanong nila, ano yung pinaka masasabi mong dahilan kung bakit tumagal ka at tumagal ang buhay mo at masaya ang buhay mo? Ang sagot, not money, not success, not accomplishment, not titles. Ang sagot ng mga octogenarians, kung bakit masaya ang buhay nila at kung bakit tumagal ang buhay nila, ang sagot nila, because of what? Close relationships. Because there is someone in their life that accompanies them, a relationship that is meaningful to them. That makes life worth it, because you know you are not alone, that you have someone who cares for you. There is someone who is, he's loyal and faithful to you. Yun daw po ang susi sa masayang buhay. Yung malaman mo na hindi ka nag-iisa, na may kalakbay ka, may kasama ka, may nagmamahal sa iyo. The experience of being loved, the experience of being cared for, the experience of an affectionate relationship, that makes life worth living. Not the money. Money will go away. Not the success. Success will go away. But the love, the loving relationship that you have, that is what makes our life meaningful. Hindi tayo nag-iisa sa daan, kaya matuto tayong makiraan. Hindi tayo nag-iisa sa daan, lagi tayong may kasama. Dito sa Abu Dhabi, no, napakaganda kasi masunurin ang mga tao sa traffic. Hindi kagaya sa Pilipinas. No? Alam niyo naman sa Pilipinas, di ba? Ako po, mahilig akong magmotor kasi gumibap na ako sa traffic. Imagine mo, galing ako ng UN Avenue sa Paco. Mapunta lang ako ng Makati para magturo sa seminaryo. Abutin ako ng 2 oras, wala pang 5 kilometro. Imagine mo yan, di ba? From UN Avenue to EDSA, 2 oras. Kaya nagmumotor ako para walang traffic. Dito, na-discover ko sa Abu Dhabi, napakamasunurin sa traffic yung mga tao. At saka walang pasaway sa kalye. Lahat masunurin. Lahat nagsisignal pagkakaliwa, pagkakanan. No? At na-discover ko. Kaya pala masunurin ng mga Pilipino. Takot sa dirham. No? Kaya pala pagka nahuli ka pala sa traffic violation, ang laki-laki pala ng fine. Kasi walang naniningil sa parking Pero yung pala, ikaw kailangan mo ikaw mismo mag-register ng sarili mo. So ang tanong nga po ay, do we care for each other? Do we care at all that there's someone in our journey? Pakitingin nga ang katabi mo. Yan. Kalakbay kita. No? Magkalakbay tayo. Hindi ako nag-iisa. Kampante ako kasi alam ko nandyan ka. Alam ko may kalakbay ako at hindi ako nag-iisa. The last point, we journey together, but not in despair or in sadness, but we journey together in hope. Yung paglalakbay sa buhay, hindi ho nauuwi sa lungkot o pagkabigo. We journey together. We don't know the future, but we know who holds the future. Hindi natin alam kung anong mangyayari, pero alam natin na kung sino ang may hawak ng buhay natin. We just need to what? We just need to trust and surrender. We have to believe. Sabi ni Father Jerry Orbos, BTS po ang sabi niya. BTS is, we need to believe, to trust, and surrender. We have to believe, trust, and surrender that God holds your future. And He will not give you a life to destroy you, but He prepares a future that is best for you. Sa buhay po, and I would like to end with this, isa lang ang letrang naghihiwalay sa pag-asa at paasa. Maraming bagay sa mundo ang paasa lamang. Pinapaasa ka lang. Pagka kinapitan mo yung pera, papaasahin ka lang yan. Pag nagkasakit ka, kahit milyonaryo ka, hindi ka ililigtas niyan. Papaasahin ka ng mga naipon mo, mga naipundar mo, bahay, lupa, o anuman. Darating ang panahon, iiwanan mo din yan. Lahat ng mga akala mo, kakapitan mo sa buhay ay pagdating ng panahon, di rin talaga maaasahan. There's only one who is certain in our life. Our God who loves us and who will never abandon us. Our future is secure in Him. But the moment we put our security in our security insurance plans, we will be greatly mistaken. Our security can only be found in the Lord. Amen. Huwag hong tatanggalin ng G sa inyong buhay. Kasi yon ang magbibigay sa iyo ng pag-asa. Tanggalin mo yung G, ang lahat ng yan, paasa lang. So, life is a journey, life is a pilgrimage. We continue to journey together, and we continue to journey together in hope. And hope can only be found in the letter G.